All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to talk in our final thoughts today in regards to some of the recent events that have happened in our country. I know this is nothing new right this month or this year or anything like that, but we've had two mass shootings in the last week. We had one in Texas, and then we had another one here in Ohio. It's not exactly right near us, but it's only a couple hours away down in Dayton. This isn't the most fun topic to discuss, but I think that it's part of my responsibility and Jim's responsibility as somebody who, if people are listening out there and we can make one change in one life or one change in one mind, we're going to do it. And it's the same as people's voice on social media, or people will yell at athletes for having opinions about something other than a court. They're like, well, nobody's going to listen to you. Well, you know what? They do have a voice. And if even one person changes their mind or does something better, then it's up to them. And I think it's part of the responsibility that they carry along with them and their position to speak responsibly about things. So we just wanted to talk a bit about, maybe being a bit united, because it's a scary world we live in.
It is. And my wife and I yesterday were up at the Cleveland Browns preseason game and kind of driving up, to the stadium, and we were walking through the city, and then eventually getting to like the security gates before you check in. And you're probably 20 to 30 people deep times 100 different checkouts just on that one wing of the stadium. And you kind of are sitting there thinking, this is becoming a crazy world that we live in. Is someone going to pull up and just start spraying bullets at the crowd? I hate to say it like that, but it was kind of one of those things where maybe not in the forefront of your mind, but in the back of your mind, like, who'd have thought that the people in Dayton or in El Paso, would have went through what they went through. And it can be uncomfortable, not really, it's the unknown, right? You want to walk through life, not you don't want to be thinking those things all the time. But, it's like we all need to be, like you said, coming together and being more human, showing more love, more compassion. When we're in settings where it's maybe with a group of people and that, like, learning more from the other person, because we can learn so much from each other and what we're all going through.
Last week, our topic was having that creator mindset versus a victim mindset. And right now in the media, it is 100% victim mindset across the board. And here's what I mean by that. If you listen, the majority of the people who are out there speaking about this, they're not necessarily looking about the fix. They're looking about who to blame. And even in talking about a quote unquote fix, they're always turning it around and blaming somebody else. And what was the racial background, or what was the voting record of the person who did this or who did that? And ultimately we all have more in common than we have not in common. And we're all people, we're all human. We're really trying to make this world a better place. Now, listen, there are some crazies out there. They may belong to a specific group or race or background or country or whatever. I don't care. That crazy person was one individual that did this. We cannot keep lumping everybody into these groups. I mean, that's the definition of racism and xenophobia and stuff. We've got to stop being that way as a country. And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican or anything like that. My message to you and Jim's message to you that we talked about was we've got to become united again as a people. And it's a passionate thing. I've torn up my nights thinking about this. I think I've watched more news in the last week, which is not always even the healthiest thing. I've peeled away, maybe even on focusing on my own brain, because I'm a problem solver. Mm-hmm. Being a physician, that's part of what happens is we don't always sit there and wonder, well, this is going on, that's sad. We're always sitting there looking for answers. I know that you're that way. I know I'm that way. So as I'm sitting here, I'm wondering, what can I do? What can we do as a country, as a world, to progress forward and move in a better direction? And that's all I can really think of, is we have to stop classifying everybody. And we can celebrate all the diversity we want. We can celebrate our heritage. We can celebrate, I don't care about sexual orientations, or that doesn't bother me. If you're an individual and you're a good person, I'm going to focus on how you treat other people. And that's what I'm going to define you by. Mm-hmm. And I wish that people would do the same for us. And I hope that people do the same for each other. It's a scary time right now. And I want to see us all do better. And I think we can.
Well said. And the only thing I can ever pull from my personal life, because I'm not political. I don't like to voice any of that or religious. Like, I know what makes me happy. I know what I believe in, but who am I to push that on someone? Especially, we got to sometimes be neutral in the office, and respect. I don't even really want to go there. You're here in my office for me to help you get better. So, but I love learning from other people. I know I said it earlier, but when someone comes in and for example, someone who might be Jewish, I love asking them about, like, what are you celebrating? What's coming up soon? Because I don't know, but if you can teach me, then I can learn something from you, and same thing too, like with sexual orientation and stuff like that. Like, I want to learn, teach me a little bit about what you go through and stuff like that. Cause I want to appreciate you for being a human being and what makes you happy too. So I can learn. I think we can all learn from each other if we just listen.
Yeah. And we don't have to agree all the time either.
Right.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I may think one thing from a financial standpoint that may put me in one political party versus the other, but and you and I don't necessarily have to agree on one thing. That's okay. That's part of what makes us individuals. It doesn't matter. We don't all have to agree. And just because you don't agree with me, it doesn't make you bad. Just because I don't agree with you, it doesn't make me bad. We've got to stop thinking that way. And I really don't know the answer. I think that we all need to work on it. I think we all need to be a little bit more vocal in this type of fashion. We need to talk to our people who are in power and in leadership and really try to make sure that they're doing the same thing, understanding alternative points of view. Everybody needs to work together on both sides, because this whole split that we're at, where you're this, you're that, and I'm never going to deal with you and you're never going to deal with me. We can't be that way, and we'll never progress. We'll never progress as a nation or a world moving in these individual thought processes where we're not willing to work together. So big soapbox, big topic, but I did feel it was important. I promise next week we'll be back to a little bit more fun stuff.
Well, we had fun today.
Oh, yeah,
majority
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun today. Yeah. But the final thoughts is usually we get to pick on somebody or something, and it's a little bit more fun tone. So
yeah, but this is our outlet. So if it's on your mind, we're gonna bring it forward. Because just like you guys have something on your mind, you ask us to try to break down like an Ask the Docs. It's just for us to all have a little something up here to think about when we leave the show.
Absolutely,
it's a good topic.
So listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Follow us on our social media. Subscribe to our YouTube if you're liking these videos. Keep downloading the podcasts. Thanks to everyone who has been listening, and keep us in mind if you do have a question. Otherwise, we'll talk to you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Have a good one.